Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I do appreciate your time. We both appreciate your time. BMD definitely enjoys being partners with you all, and I just want to say a couple things, just some housekeeping things. We're going to be trying to mute everyone, but if you find yourself unmuted, please go forward and just try to click that little mute button up top. And then Alan and I will be hopefully answering all of your questions at the end of the presentation. But during the presentation, if you have a question, feel free to just jot it down in the chat box. That is the little speech bubble icon on the top of your screen, or it's on the top of my screen. Just search around for the little speech bubble and press that. Type in your question. We'll get to that at the end of the presentation. I want to introduce myself. My name is Matthew Delaney. I have been a part of BMD for the past 3 years, or just about 3 years, and I am a territory manager in the East Bay, and I have about 20 plus years experience in fenestration, custom windows and doors, installing, manufacturing, and then selling, of course. And then I've been a part of the Marvin team for over 15 years selling their product, and I appreciate working with all of you out there. And my partner today is Allen Pruitt.
I'm Allen Pruitt. I'm the Northern California sales manager. Some of you may have expected to see Mr. Todd Tweedy, but he is on vacation this week camping, so I don't think he'll have good coverage to do the presentation, so we'll fill in here. I've been with BMD just a little over a year and a half. I had a 10-year gap, but I used to be on the vinyl side for 10 years, so I've had some of your accounts in the past. So thank you all for being here this morning.
All right, perfect. So today we're going to start with assemblies. It's kind of like an assembly 101. And then Alan is going to jump into walking you the process for how to put up an assistance request. And okay, let me get started. All right, so assemblies, basically, I'm going to walk you through the basics here. This is again 101 here. And then I'm going to jump into OMS, and I'm going to show you how to build a few assemblies for your viewing pleasure. The assemblies are super easy. If you can build a single unit, it's no different. It's just a little different, but pretty much the same thing. So you can, if you build an assembly, if you can build a regular window, you can build an assembly. It's straightforward. You're going to select the assembly type. You have bay, bow, assembly, corner to choose from, and then of course, then you're going to choose your shape, which is either a rectangle, round top, or a polygon. The image picker is something that is going to be super easy to use with the with picking your shape. So you just click on that little camera icon on the right hand side of your option, and you'll be able to see all of the images of the shape. So you'll just select that is the appropriate for your project. Okay, so this is very, very basic, but I want to make it clear that the quantity, when talking about the quantity in OMS, you are actually referring to the number of assemblies that you're doing. You're not actually talking about the individual units that are going to be in the assembly. So very simple, but this little diagram here on the right hand corner, you're going to see this is a 3 wide by 2 high, and so yes, this is one assembly, but you will have 6 windows within this assembly. So very, very simple, but just don't get confused. In terms of the naming convention, the letters designate the rows and the numbers designate the columns. So A1 will always be the top left window in your assembly, and that is always going to be as viewed from the exterior, looking into the window from the outside. Okay, and these are the three window units that I'm going to build for you today. The first is your RT6 with the overall shape being an RT6, and then we're going to have the spring line of 30. The spring line is referring to that straight leg on the side, the jam leg on the side that's straight right before it goes into that curve. And then after that, we're going to go into the middle window where we're going to show you how to make a ribbon. And making a ribbon will have the 4 casement windows. You just simply click a button, and now you have a left, 2 stationary, and then a right. Saves you a little bit of time, and very, very cool little trick. And then the third one is going to be just showing you how to make a merging 2 window units to form 1 unit, and kind of make a unique shape like this one on the right, where you have it's basically like a 3 wide by 2 high, but we've merged those 2 center windows together, and just kind of making that nice special shape. But let me unshare here. Oh, no. Let me go into OMS in order to show you how to do that right now. So here I just have started, I just clicked new project. And now I'm going to create a line. But actually, right before I do that, I'm just going to show you really quickly something that's going to apply to Alan's presentation. This is going to be in OMS settings. I recommend that everyone does this in their OMS, and it's not something that we can do for you. You have to do it on your own machine. But you'll just go to My Settings, and then you'll go over to Work Item Notifications. Click that, and just click every single one of these boxes and double check that this is your correct email address, and then press save. And what that's going to do is if anything is ever sent to your inbox in OMS, then you'll also get another notification being sent to your email address. So you won't have to go into OMS just to look and see if that assistance request came back to you or not. But that being said, I think you should have OMS open, and you should always be quoting as much as possible. But that's my humor. And then also there's this other one here. It's order notifications. I've spoken about this in some of the other presentations, but I love this one as well, where you can just select this, and you can add someone else to this to get order notifications. You add a contractor, you can add a homeowner, and they'll be kept in the loop, if you will, on when those when you're going to be shipped any product. You might not want to send a homeowner this information. It's up to you, but it's there. So you would just type in their email address here and then press save, and that's very straightforward. But let me jump back into those assemblies. So we're going to add a line. We're going to click assembly and quantity 1, and we're going to mark the unit. I think this was Dormer, and brand, going to go Marvin. Stick with Marvin. It may take a minute. We're going to go signature, clad, assembly, and full frame. Now here's something that I like to do on all of my projects is click this little button right here, use this item to set global specs for this product line. And yes, absolutely. That's going to make it much easier for our second and third window, or if you have a whole project, obviously you'll start off the first one, put in the global specs within that first unit, and then move forward with the project. And you won't have to type in all the details for every single one. So here we are. We're going to be doing a 3 wide, 1 high, and we were going to be doing this one. Let's just select everything here. Stone white. We're going to do pine. We're going to do the painted interior finish. We're going to do designer black because that's awesome. And then for the shape, we're going to hit this image selector, which I like so much. This one here, this P51, Alex Tran, he likes to call that the home plate. I like that one. But we are looking for this RT6. We're going to click that. And the width of this window is going to be 72, and the height, and this is the rough opening for all of the units. So we're going to click 72 and then 40, I believe we were doing, it doesn't really matter, but 48, and then the spring line was going to be 30. Again, the spring line is that little short leg on the right and left before the okay. Oh, another thing, when you're doing curved windows, I always recommend doing casing. The casing, I would recommend doing interior, exterior casing, because really, if you're doing these curved units, you're going to have custom casing manufactured if you don't do the interior and exterior with Marvin. So, just save time. It would take a lot more work on your side if you needed to get these people, your contractor or your homeowner, the casing later on. And it's very straightforward to do this. The casing with the subsill, so that casing will then die into the subsill at the bottom. And we're going to hit continue here. And here we go. So we're going to do this one as the picture round top. So we're just going to make that a casement picture round top. And we're waiting very patiently. But this, as you see that image at the top here, this is basically what we were saying we're going to be building. Um, and this is the RT6. And much this is what we said we were going to be doing. We're going to just scroll down. This is we could say this is down by the floor, so we could change this to a tempered low 3. Let's see, where are we? Tempered low E3 with argon, black spacers, black perimeter bar, OG shape, perfect. And if we wanted to change that A2, we could go into A2, or we could just come up here and click A1 or A2, and then you'll go directly to that window, and you can just change the auto fit. So right now we have 3 equal sections. We can change auto fit to basic frame, and then we can change that center window to 30 inches. And when I click off of there, you're going to see that center, the drawing over there in the center window. You're going to see that expand to 30 inches. Okay, so we're done here. So we're going to go on to the next one, which is Very straightforward. Well, here, are we done? Yeah. Okay, so the next assembly we're gonna do is going to be the the ribbon. So we're gonna just select same thing, and luckily everything was transferred over. We don't have to click this global specs thing again because we've already done it for that first window. We're gonna do full frame. We're gonna click continue. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at the details. We're doing round. We're doing 4 wide and 1 high, and size by unit this time. And we will have to change. We're going to change this because we had a global spec set, and this one is a little bit different. The brick mold is a little different on the rectangular window than it is on the curved window. So we'll just click off that other one and click on the new brick mold. And that is it. We'll hit continue. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is select the product, and we're going to select casement window. And so at this point, A1 through A4, oh gosh. Are you witnessing this, Alan?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, here we
Hey,
go. Woohoo! We got it. So we are, everything is selected here, and we're gonna just come over here in the top right and click make a ribbon. Right now, these are all left-handed, so we're gonna click make a ribbon after we selected the product, and now we have left, stationary, stationary, right. Very straightforward. We could have actually just gone in and selected each one, but then we would have had to you know, change the right handing right here or left handing. But this one just makes it really, really simple and really straightforward. So we're going to go back to all units, and we're going to change this to 24 by 48. And that's the center window that we were planning on building. I'm just going to look down on the details. We had changed the tempered, the previous product to tempered. So this one is now tempered as well. If it doesn't need to be tempered with low E3, then we can change that now. But we'll keep it as tempered right now. And scrolling down, just double checking everything. I like to make sure everything's in there. Satin taupe handles, perfect. Aluminum screen. And that's good. We're done here. And for the third assembly, we're going to do the merge for you. So I'm just going to do assembly again. And clicking down full frame. And so this one was actually 3 wide by 2 high. And this we're going to do by rough opening. And this was 72 by 50. Scroll down. We're going to have to change that brick mold again. Click continue. So here, previously for the making a ribbon, we needed to select the product first. For the merge, we're needing to do is we're going to have to merge that first, so before selecting a product. So right now, all of these are selected. So what I'm going to do is just click with my mouse on one of them, and then I'm going to hit Control and click on A2. So now A2 and B2 are highlighted, and we're just going to come over here and click Merge, and it's looking a lot like that display that we were looking at earlier. I will hit Casement Picture for the center window. Well, actually, let's just go to all units first. Let's go to awning and select awning. Come on. Sorry, buddy. We're almost there. I want to like shake it. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no, we're here. We got it. We're back. Okay, now I'm gonna click. So we have the awnings now, and for that center window, I'm gonna go back and make that an awning picture. Sometimes you have to sing like a little OMS You Can Do It song. And then you want to check everything's looking good. So here, we may need tempering for the all three on the bottom, but on the top, A1 and A3, maybe those don't need to be tempered. And so you could come back and just change those to just standard low E3 with argon. That would be A1. And then you could just click on the image itself to go to A3. And we're going to go down to the tempered glass and make that just the standard low argon again. And then we'll done. And that third unit. So thank you much. I'm going to unshare right now, and then I'll let Alan move on.
all right. Let me share my screen here. All right. Matthew, can you see that?
Not yet.
All right. How about now?
There we go. Yeah, I see it.
All right. All right. So we're going to jump into the OMS assistant requests. So many of you have done these, and we're just going to go over, and like Matthew said, this is kind of the 101 version, but we do want to hit some, basic things. If you can't find it in online docs, or you can't find it with your TM, there's certain requests that you may need to send up to us. So here's just a very short list of some of the things you may send up. Specific glass that may not be an OMS that your customer is looking for, maybe something that exceeds the max, maybe it does fall within the maximum of the square footage, but maybe the height or width is a little, out of max. So you'd want to check on that. And then shop drawings, if you need drawings requested, say you're doing bays or bows and you need the drawings for that. Of course, commercial projects, you're going to be working alongside your territory manager, such as Matthew, as well as probably Sam, but there's going to be a variety of things you're probably going to need to get some more details on, and we can help you with that. Tech requests is any performance spec information that you couldn't find online, then you could go ahead and send up that for an inquiry. And then, of course, things like argon, maybe you're at a certain elevation and you're not sure, hey, do I need argon? Do I need capillary tubes? And then you could send that up as a question. Now, let's go to the next. Okay, there we go. So the first thing we want to go through is notes and attachments, and this could be anything. And actually, I believe one of you on the call is my example from my most recent one where I had to send in and needed, some assistance and needed some alignment requests. So you want to send any drawings you may have. We had a section of the plans that we sent up and said, this is what the homeowner is trying to achieve. And then a couple options, one of the options that they had, and then one of the options that we're asking from, tech support. So, and then any field conditions you may need to put up there, but you really want to put everything and anything that would help your ARs get solved in a faster manner. All right. So here's where you put in your notes and attachments. And actually, you'll see right above 3 lines up, you'll see where it says your assistance request. If you had it in there, you'd have a number. So you want to put any notes and attachments over here. You're going to put the title. So for instance, this says alignment. That was much like what I needed. You're going to have a standard note, and then you want to put extremely detailed information about what you were looking for. And in my situation, what we had put in there is that the customer is looking for, we had an OXO on the bottom, we had an in-swing door on the bottom, and we had a transom up top, an OOO, and we wanted these to look like one complete assembly with clad capping in between. So I couldn't get the rough openings to match perfectly, so I needed not only the rough openings, but I also needed them to look similar to what the diagram was, as per what the customer was trying to achieve. All right, and then sending your request to us. Now, all of these requests will go from you directly to BMD, and they're all part of a project. So all ARs are associated with a project, and then you want to make sure, as we stated before, that you choose anything that would be needed to go upstream. So you may have a variety of things in your, quote, whether it's past proposals, numerous different types of drawings, but maybe only portions of that are needed for the AR. So it's really important for the speed of it that you select the line items that you need and then what's associated with that. Oops, went too far. All right. So the types of requests. So the first one there, if you see on the top here, is just a question. This is where your project is not going to be locked. You may just simply need a yes or no or a short answer, but it's just some sort of inquiry that doesn't affect the line items within your project. If it affects the line items in your project, you're going to be under the second one where it says quote and technical support. But as long as it doesn't, and you're just asking for a question and details back, then that would not be locked and you can still make adjustments to your project. But once you need us to adjust your line items, then it's going to go to us and be locked. So in my situation where I was asking them, hey, I need the transom, the OOO to match the OXO on the bottom, they're going to adjust that one to match the rough openings, as well as I asked them for how do we prep and all the components needed for the cladding in between. So they were going to add line items and the parts and pieces associated with what I was asking for. So then the second area here is the next level of support. And then short summary, like before it said alignment, special glass. But here is where I put, hey, I'm looking for this to align with the bottom. I'm also looking for a 4-inch clad capping and the components underneath, but I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, however many items I'm specifically looking for, I would recommend outlining that. So once you send this in, that's when we're going to lock it. You can view it, but not edit it, so that you're not editing things while they're editing your project as well. So it's going to be locked out, and then it's going to go to BMD. So once it goes to us, this is important. You'll want to see this because I made a mistake and it cost me a few hours as far as I thought I'd sent up a request, got doing other things, and you need to get this response back that says your request has been submitted. Your project is now locked. You'll not be able to make changes to your product or project until it's been answered. So in this one, this is obviously for the quote or assistance request where they are going to change line items, not the question. All right. So this I actually got it backwards here. So this, you're going to do the part on the right first. And this is where you're going to get to put all the notes and attachments to it. This is getting your AR back faster. And you may have 30 lines. You want to make sure on the right here that you're only selecting the lines that you need us to look at. So on On mine, they're all unselected. Just make sure yours are unselected and you select the ones you need us to look at. On the left, that's the notes and attachment. On mine, when I open OMS, they're all selected. So please make sure that you could have a variety of things like proposals, past drawings. You could have 8 or 10 things there that you want to keep for future use, but don't necessarily coincide with what you're asking for on the AR. So you want to make sure it's just the things that you need to accomplish what you're asking for. And the other thing, and it's not on, you can't really see this on the right, there is a button that says obsolete. So if you have things that you want to save but are no longer relevant to, maybe they were 3 versions before that you were looking at, then you can always obsolete those items just to ensure that it doesn't get confusing. But this is probably the most important part, as part of getting your AR back faster, to make sure you have the correct line items and only the correct notes and attachments that are associated with what you're asking for. All right, and getting your OMS inbox. As Matthew stated earlier, you can have it set up to where it'll also send it to your personal email or other emails. And then you can see here, I'm pointing, you can see here where it says my team's inbox. Depending on how your dealer is set up, it may go to your inbox or your team's inbox. So it's just depending on how you're set up. So of course it's going to come to the inbox that is associated with how you're set up. They're based on your project, and then you're going to need to confirm that you received it. So confirming a response. You have 3 choices. You can accept the changes and update the project. So those are where we've made changes to your line items, and you're going to, like in my case, everything looks good and I'm going to accept that. You can reject the changes, in which case it'll just get discarded, or you can save the changes as a project alternate. In this, in many cases, let's say you asked for a wood species that is not an OMS and you wanted to get a quote back from that. You might want to save the current one because maybe it's in pine and you don't know if the customer is going to be okay with the amount of the charge, or maybe they go back to the original. So in many cases, you want to save that as an alternate. So it'll be associated with the same job, but it will be status of not used. And then your original project is unlocked in its original condition. So recap. An assistance request is how you get help from BMD to help you with your projects. Your question would be a straightforward question, and it's short answer, yes or no. The quote technical request is if you need pricing on an item that's not out of OMS, or you need certain details for us to help you with that would change some of the line items. And then it's going to go back into your inbox based on how that's set up, and as well as if you have email notifications set up, and then you have your choices that you will need to accept, reject, or save as an alternate. All right.
Okay. Oh, and here we have just a reminder for your making a ribbon. You wanna select the you want to make a ribbon after you select the product, and then for merge you want to do that before you select your unit type. All right.
All right.
And thank you so much. We really appreciate your time for being here. We haven't seen any questions in the chat box at this point. If you do have any questions, please let us know. We appreciate you and all of your business that you give to us.